Hopefully you guys can hear me. The music is playing and we are on. Awesome. Welcome to the show, guys. Tonight I am going to be talking about debt reduction or debt relief or debt payoff, however you want to put it. That is what we're gonna focus on today. I'm gonna focus on going back to sticking to a subject, even though it may be sometimes boring, but to get to know what we need to do to get our credits in line. All right, so I've got somebody here says, "What's up, Cash?" And again, we only got Facebook user because Facebook needs your authorization to release your information. Cash, you can't do that again. Do what? Trying to be boring? I'm not trying to be boring, man. I'm trying to get things done, man. Like, we need to stick to our goals of being credible, being efficient, and taking the best benefits that we can. So, I'm not sure who Facebook user is, so I'm gonna have to go to my cheat sheet. So give me 1 second here while I open up Facebook and see what the live is coming through and who is commenting on the live. All right, so Ryan, that's weird. This is Ryan. My name's uses to come up. Yeah, I think Facebook changed something recently, or maybe because I wasn't active for a couple weeks, it did that, Ryan. Um, Marian, how are you? Nice to have you on the show. Not trying to be boring. I'll try not to be boring, but um, I've been thinking a lot, especially since these few weeks I had off, is that we need to stick to being a productive show. The whole point of this show is to help our fellow tenters out and get them to be debt free, being able to use credit wisely, and being actually being credible because they may not have the credit that they want or need or should be at, honestly speaking. So right now is season time. Everybody's getting busy. There's income coming in, and it is perfect time if you got debt and if you got balances that needs to be taken off. uh I missed you too, Marion. I'm sorry, it's been hectic, so and we're trying to get back to everything. What's up, Mike? You actually made it. Look, Mike's name is the only name that came up. That is funny. And oh, there's Tim. Welcome, Tim. How are you doing today? So, I just happened to have Tenors for Cause on today, and then I just caught some of Dean Mitchell's Tenor for Cause live. That was just, I was like, whoa, the coincidence on there. I can't even say it right. It was just nice. All right. So, Marianne and everybody else that I miss you too, bro. You've been having a lot of fun lately, Mike. You've been traveling, man. So I don't know if you're gonna be going to the GeoShield stuff for the flat glass in June. I will be going to that one. So if not, we have that WFR reunion only a couple months away. 3 months to be exact, actually. 3 months and 2 days. Can't believe that damn time is just flying, man. I'm gonna put the caption back on for people to. Here's the link. This is the link you guys need to go to authorize Facebook to show your name. I'll also put it in the comments, so that way you guys also have it in the comments. But that is the link. Let me go back here. Show that down here as well. So if you guys go on there, all it does is asks you to allow Facebook to pass your name and your profile picture through. So That's what that is. Good evening, Matt. How you doing, brother? So, today's topic is a topic that was very sensitive for me for a lot of years, and it was hard to figure out how to do it and what to do. So, got a lot of personal experience on this one. And then we go, wow, look at the love that's going on this show. This is what's up. Hey, what's up, Alex? What's up, Shady? How you doing, bro? Ryan's name is back. Welcome back, Ryan. Yeah, you just gotta follow the link, man. I don't know. I don't know if Facebook keeps on making it tough and tough for everybody to kind of communicate. But yeah, guys, today I want to talk about, you know, the credit debt payoff or any balance debt payoff and all that stuff. How do we handle that? But I also need a favor from everybody. When you guys get a chance, I need to build this channel, man. On YouTube. I have not focused on YouTube. I built the channel, but Marco and I think somebody else is the only subscriber I got on there. So if you guys get a chance, do me a favor. Let's build something. Let's build the YouTube channel for Incredible Cash, because we need to make more people be credit able. So for the whole point of this show is to help you guys out to be better at your finances, be better at your credit worthy. So that way you guys can take advantage of the credit card companies instead of them taking advantage of you. All right, definitely woohoo. Good, brother. Hope everyone is as well. Well, that's Matt. Matt's name's back on here. All right, Jordan's name's back up here. Doing good. Hope you're well. I am. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And then we got Hey Shady from Marion. Marion, you need to go to the link again so we can see your name. Come on, I know you're one of my favorite person on here. And you're one of the most active person on here as well. So, going to the captions, unless somebody wants to talk about something else, you're more welcome to do so. There are multiple ways of paying off debt. Okay, so before we get into that, my first advice to you guys would be is look at your paycheck. If you're on a paycheck and you're an employee, look at what your average paycheck is, or what your minimum paycheck is, what you're supposed to be getting, or what you're getting. Now, for a lot of the tenters right now, this time of year is where you're gonna have higher income compared to the slower time of the year. So what you need to do is looking at that paycheck is not only look at what the paycheck is, but how to make that paycheck last a full year. Okay, like what I mean by that is if you have 6 good months and 6 bad months, you need to make the average and figure out how much you need to push over to those slow months so that way you don't struggle. That's one of the biggest thing I've seen here is that a lot of guys in the slow season, they're struggling really hard even to just pay the necessity bills that they have, like paying their rent, paying their mortgage, paying all the utilities and stuff. Everybody's crying about littlest things. And I'm not trying to make that as a bad thing. I'm just trying to say this is an issue that we should address. So I'm gonna start to stay up on the chats so we don't go too back. All right, so all right, we were at Hey Shady, and then we have Tim. Hey, I wanted to message you and give you some information about my credit. I paid off a debt that I owed DirecTV for $109. After paying that off, my credit went up 30 points. Damn, bro. Hell yeah. Tim, that is great to hear, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Trip, brother, what's going on? How you doing today? Hey, man. We're all good, man. Few minutes is nothing. We're only a few minutes into this show. Wow, I disappeared. Marion, you want me to send you the link again? Give me 1 second. I'll shoot it back over here on the comment that you can just kind of click on and go right off of it. So if you're in the comments, just click on that link right there, and that should get your name back on here, Marion. So, guys, on that, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say on that. Is that whatever income you guys got coming in here, you guys need to look at your monthly expenses. So, review your monthly expenses. What is the absolute amount that you need every month for a full 12 month to get all your bills paid and get the food on the table, and give you a little leeway, a little wiggle room to do what you need to do. Um, that is the best advice that I can give you guys. We'll do another show where we can talk about a spreadsheet to help you out. You guys can use some of the apps out there that will also concentrate on that kind of stuff. But be careful with a lot of these apps because they have hidden agendas to it. They also share your information a lot of times. So that's why I like going to the spreadsheet than going over to the apps. Now, some apps are decent out there, but again, you're opening yourself up to a whole bunch of stuff on that. Uh, Create a plan for what's left over. So once you guys have your monthly budget, you know what your paycheck is, you need to squeeze in some extra stuff. Especially right now, you need to squeeze in extra stuff as much as possible and to cover those slow months. Once you do that, put your extra money to good use. There's a double X and double R and double A on that. Is that extra money needs to last the whole year, man. And you need to make a good use of it. If you got debt, like Tim just paid off his direct TV, his points went up 30 points. That's huge, man. That is a good direction going the right way that he needs to go to get that credit to where it needs to be and to be able to utilize it and reap the benefits that you should be reaping. Yo, Jason, how you doing, brother? I can't wait for your show tomorrow, man. I want to know who the guest is, and we all kind of have an idea that is, um, you know, your anonymous person, but we all want to figure out who that is. So I can't wait for your show tomorrow. So guys, going back to where we are at. So that's my advice. Put extra money, and then again, give yourself some wiggle room. Whatever numbers you guys come up with, whatever numbers that needs to be there, give yourself wiggle room for hard time, for ups and downs, and something extra. That way, you're not putting yourself to every single penny, and you're not budgeting too hard. And that's the biggest problem with a lot of people have is that when they do a budget, they do a tight budget, and they don't leave any wiggle room. And when there's a unknown step that happens, it throws your whole thing off, and then you get disencouraged, you get stressed out, you get disheartened, and then you put yourself in a worse situation. That is the biggest issue that most people, when they're trying to pay off credit or they're trying to build up credit, is that when you have a hurdle that comes in the way that throws off your game plan, you are not able to recover because you didn't leave any wiggle room. Wiggle room is the most important thing you can do when you're at uh, when you're planning for this. Real quick, everyone's squeegees are going out tomorrow. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Jason saying who? I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to find out. Who's gonna be on the show tomorrow at Tuesday, 10 or Tuesday, guys? If you don't know, you need to be on that show. Watch that show tomorrow. Jason's got somebody special coming on. All right, so going to our debt payoff. What are some of the ways to pay off debt? Well, we just talked about how to figure out what money we're going to have to pay off debt. Once you do that, there are four strategies that you can utilize. The best one I recommend for people that have tough position in credit score, or is not able to get more credit cards or credit loans, is pay off the smallest debt first. You pay off the smallest debt first, it gives you accomplishment to get away with more accounts being paid off quicker. So let's say you have 5 accounts and one of them has got $5,000 balance, another one's got $3,000 balance, another one's got 2,500, another one's got 2,000, and then you got one that's got a couple $100, or like Tim just had a DirecTV for $190. Well, instead of trying to hit that 5,000 and you're just gonna not be able to make a dent in that bigger amount, easiest way for a lot of people, especially if your credit is not there, is to aim for the smallest piece, pay off that 190, pay off that 200, $300, try to pay it off in a month or two, maybe three. To the next, then go on that. Because ultimately what you want to do is you don't want to have that 5 accounts open and 5 different balances that you got to stress about every month. You ultimately want to come down to 4, to 3, to 1, and then you ultimately get that last one down. That is the best strategy that most credit people will tell you to do, and that is the reason for that is because that works and it keeps you motivated. A lot of people don't talk about, it's not just about the money and what you save, it's also about your motivation, your mental stage. If you mentally are not ready to do something or committed to do something, you're not going to. There's no way around that. What's going on, Corey? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Glad you're here. For the guys that missed this, I want to put this out there. If you guys can help out, let's build the YouTube channel for Incredible Cash. That is the link right there. If you guys can go subscribe, so that way we can have people that are having trouble on Facebook, they can go to YouTube and watch it there. And I can also build that channel for everybody to watch the lives later on, and maybe build some content that will help you guys out to catch up when you miss these live shows. So that is the plan. Hopefully you guys can help me out with that. Appreciate anybody going on there and subscribing. All right, guys. So first option is pay the smallest debt amount. The focus on there is, again, your mental stability. You're able to, hit targets quicker, and you feel more accomplished, and you're able to do more that way mentally and financially. The other way would be is if you're able, and this is what I'm talking about, is if you're able and you want to pay less interest out there and you're focused more on the interest, but you can pay off large amounts faster and quicker, especially this time of year, since you got more tent jobs coming in, more money coming in, is that pay the highest interest rate loans first. So you're gonna have to figure out what loans you have, write them down, what interest there is, and what the minimum payments is for the rest of the loans. So if you have 5 loans, don't just focus on one. You got to make those payments on the other 4, the minimum payments. All you do is make maybe $5 over minimum or $10 over minimum. If not, just pay the bare minimum on there. You got to make sure that you pay all your bills. Do not skip any bills, because that will hurt you even worse. We talked about this when we were talking about credits. So stay on top of your bills, okay? Rick Tallman in the house. I love you too, Rick. Thank you for being on the show. Glad you can catch this. All right. So, paying the highest interest rate loans is going to be the most beneficial for you if you're able to do that. Again, guys, I would prefer you do this one first, pay the smallest debt first, okay? Build momentum, and if you're able if you're able easily to do this, then go this route. Okay? Now, the third route, which is for the people that have decent credit, um, and have cards that offer these kind of benefits, is consolidate by balance transfer. Okay, if you have balances on your card, kind of like Jason, where he has a whole bunch of cards, I'm pretty sure that he gets offers on a regular basis saying that, hey, consolidate with us, we'll give you a promo rate. And consolidate balance transfer, consolidation is great on credit cards because a lot of time you pay a small fee for the transfer, but you get a introductory rate for usually 18 months or 2 years. So, for example, like I get offers on balance transfers for as little as 3%. I've previously had 2% offers before, but I have not seen that in the last year. But on average, 3 or 4% interest rate if I do a balance transfer. So what that means is if I got 5 cards with different balances on there, I can take all that 5 cards and put it into one. So that way, I'm only having to focus on a monthly payment. Okay, and I get a special introductory rate for maybe 18 months or 2 years or 24 months to pay off that balances. Okay, I will have to pay a upfront, balance transfer fee. Like I say, usually for most time it's about 5%, but if you got better credit, you'll see as low as two. On average, 3 or 4 is what's more common out there. Now, if you don't have good credit, it is still beneficial for you to do a balance transfer if you qualify or if there's offers out there. Sometimes you can go talk to your bank if they have those kind of cards. You can also talk to the credit cards that you do have and see if they're offering any kind of balance transfer benefits or promotions or anything like that. Even if you're paying 7 8% on a balance transfer, if rest of your cards are 19, 21, 24%, 29% in some of the parts, that is still a lot less. If you're paying 8 or 10% compared to 20 some percent, and you're able to pay off your balance a lot quicker. And you only have to worry about one balance. Now, the biggest problem with this is, and I'm gonna be real, this is real talk today, is that you put all these balance transfer into one card, and then all of a sudden you have these cards that are now zero balances, and then you have a habit of charging those damn things again, and you put yourself in a worse situation. So self-control is going to be your key factor here, is that you have to go back to what we talked about, is planning things out, reviewing your monthly expenses, knowing what your paycheck is, and then you create what's left over and you put the extra money to a good use. Okay, but do not forget that wiggle room. Wiggle room is very important, guys. We got to have that wiggle room. If you do that, does that mean your card gets closed or does it stay open? Okay, so very good question, Tim. No, you want to keep your card open. You want to keep that card open with a zero balance on there. That makes your credit look so much better. Okay, so credit is based on how much money that is available to you and how much of that are you using. It's also based on your history. So if you got card that's been with you for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, that benefits you keeping that card open. Okay. If you pay off a card, keep it open. Now, the only time I will suggest closing cards is that when you get better cards with better features and benefits, and you want to keep only a handful of cards. Jason is the only guy I know that is managing 30 some cards effectively. When you have so many cards, man, even if you have an auto pay on going on it, it gets hard. And to my knowledge, too many cards sometimes can also hurt you a little bit just because you have too many accounts open. It's weird how the banking system works, but they keep it confused that way. Yeah, 36 accounts. Uh, it's funny how the banking system works. They keep on coming with different rules and regulations and change the strategies out a little bit just so they can get all the benefit. That's why you got to stay on top of your shit so that way you can reap those benefits and make the most out of it. Now, for Jason, he has a lot of cards because he uses a lot of different um, rewards out of it. He has an Apple card, he has a flying, different, uh, airline cards, and he has different stuff for that. So for him, it works because he's a sales rep that travels. He is also a little bougie, so he spends money on other stuff. So he likes to get benefits out of that, which is nothing wrong with it, man. You want to be bougie, you want to take the damn advantages, and not let the credit card companies take the benefits out of it. So here's to Jason, man. I mean, shit, keep that going, man. I love to do the same thing myself. I try to take all the benefits I can. Credit cards got enough of my money that it might take me 10 plus a year with these benefits to even come close to it. Diggs BTW7. I'm not sure who that is. Hey, what's up? Gee. All right. I'm not sure who you are, brother. If you can let us know who you are, that'd be great. What's up, my hat buddy? Yep, Tim is your hat guy, man. If you need those hats at WFR giveaways, you can see a lot of those hats being put out there. Tim does great stuff. He did hats for me. He done beanies. He's done some polo shirts. Love every single one of them. The keychain that he sent me, I have that on my key. It's been used every damn day and is still holding on very well. And I've got a spare. So love you too, Tim. Thank you. All right. Oh, Marion, we got your name back. Yes. Welcome, Marion. We finally have Marion's name back. There you go, Facebook. I hope you're happy. What's up, buddy? Got some more hats coming for WFR. Yes, sir. I know Rick put some of that stuff out recently, so that is great to hear. Thank you, Rick, for keep on doing what you're doing, man. There's a lot of benefits a lot of guys can use, and these little goodies uh, are a great way of doing that. So, if anybody does not know, go join WFR Facebook group. There will be a giveaway this Thursday. I will actually be hosting that one as well, so don't miss out on Thursday at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing some nice giveaways. I think we got a Jiffy steamer and a few other things. Do not want to miss out. It's going to be multiple winners. Not one guy, but multiple winners. Definitely stay in tune for that. All right. So going back to our debt payoff, option one, pay off the smallest debt first. Option two, if you're able, pay off the highest interest rate first. Option three, again, if you're able and credit worthy, consolidate by balance transfer. Look at the transfer fee. Look at the transfer um, terms. Look at the longevity of it. What are they giving you? Now, a lot of time you may get a great offer like, hey, 0% APR for 24 months with a 5% transfer fee. That is a great option. But here's the catcher. If you miss a payment with that, A lot of time these credit cards will have what they will charge you a high interest rate, prefer probably around 20% or so. And if you miss a payment, they will backtrack from the day you did the transfer to charge interest on everything till current. So those are great if you can stay on top of them and use them and pay it off. If you slip, and this is what the credit card companies and the banks are looking for, is they're looking for you to slip. If you slip, you can end up paying more. So that's why I make this very clear, guys. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm just trying to give you the information that you need. This is why you need to have that stuff um, down, know what your numbers are, and then go for it. And if you can use this benefit, this benefit here, use this benefit. This is a great way of paying off debt. If you can take 2 years on one-time 5% transfer and make all your payments and not worry about having to make 3, 4, 5 payments, it is a great benefit to use. Just make sure that you have self-control and you do not rank up those cards again until you pay this off, until you get your credit score raised up. Credit score, again, our goal for everybody on credit score is 800 or plus. 760 is minimum if you want to be considered as any decent credit worthy person out there. Now, with the financial crisis that is happening right now, there are more and more regulations and rules coming out that is again going to happen like what it did in 2009, 10, and 11, is that they are going to start skimming those credit card limits. So you need to stay on top of that. You need to get on their asses. You need to update your financials. That way you don't get skimmed on those credit cards. Okay, so what that means is if you have a $10,000 balance and you're not using it, they may put you down to $5,000, and you got to get back on their ass like, hey, I have a $10,000 balance. My credit is good. You need to raise me back to $10,000. That $5,000 is not going to work. Otherwise, they're just going to automatically drain you because the market is shifting. All right. So we got woohoo from Marianne. We got all kind of goodies from Rick. Yes, WFR's got a lot of goodies. I try to pay my balances as soon as I charge something if possible. Hell yeah, man, that's the best way to do it. I pay it off. My goal is every month charge everything on credit cards and pay it off at the end of the month or when the due date is. This is something else that it's a good point that Trip brings up. Using a debit card or a credit card. All right. Never, ever, 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 and I say it ever again, use your debit card. Use your credit card. Use your credit card. Treat your credit card like a debit card. By end of the month, pay that bitch off. Okay? Excuse my language, but the reason for that is, it doesn't matter what kind of credit card you got. Credit card has security. Okay? Debit card has security but limited. Okay? So I'll give you an example. Let's say you went and you purchased something. Okay? Well, with the credit card, you have a lot of these extra protection plans on there. Or if your card gets stolen, the credit card company will give your money back typically within 24 hours. And they will make the merchant, and if you're a business owner, you know you have to deal with this shit. They will make the merchant prove that it was that person that used the card. And if they cannot prove it, their money is gone. The credit card company has their money, but the customer for the credit card has their money back within 24 hours. Customer does not have to do nothing. All they have to do is dispute it. They automatically get that credit. Okay. On top of that, it's not their money. It's the credit card company's money that they're using anyways. Okay. So they're not out of that money. Now, if you got the debit card is attached to your checking or your saving. If your checking account has $1,000 and somebody charges $500 and it's a transaction that is questionable or something that you didn't do, guess what's going to happen? Bank is not going to put $500 back in your account. They're going to say, okay, we're going to open up a case. We're going to look into this. Now you're out of that $500, and typically this is 6 to 8 weeks before you get that money back if everything goes to plan the way it is. Now, would you want that, or do you want a credit card that gives you your amount back within 24 hours and they make everybody else do the work and you don't have to do nothing but say, hey, I dispute this. And if you didn't charge it, guess what? You're not responsible for it. So never, ever, 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 ever use debit card. Shoot, dude, my debit card got expired 6 months before I realized it was expired. My credit card, shoot, I have a new one 3-4 months before it's expired. I stay on top of that stuff. But debit card, only reason I ever use a debit card is if I gotta go to the ATM to make a deposit. That's it. I've never ever used it. Matt, thanks for the live, brother. Hope everyone has a great night. You too, Matt. Sorry if I missed you. Should payoff be in that order? Well, it depends. It depends on the individual, Marion. So payoff, again, like I said, depending on where you at, what situation you are. If you're in a rough situation, pay off the smallest amount. Okay, if you're in a better situation and you want to pay less interest, pay off the highest interest first. And if your credit worthiness is allowing you to do a balance transfer where you can take advantage of a balance transfer, go to that. And then I have 2 other options after that. I'll go over that as well. Lowest balance, then highest interest rate, then consolidate. No. Those are 3 options. It's not in that order. It's 3 different roads that you can take to pay off your cards, okay? If you are in a tough situation where you don't have a lot of credit, okay, and you got multiple cards and you don't have a lot of extra income, your goal is to lean toward the lowest balance route, okay? That is route 1. Take route 1 to pay the lowest balance off because that will give you momentum. That will give you mental strength to keep on doing what you're doing every month and to stay on top of it without overstressing your finances. Okay, that will take longer. You will pay more interest with that, but it will get you to that goal that you ultimately want to be, where you pay off all your cards. It is just going to be a longer journey. But that is for the folks that do not have good credit and that don't have a lot of extra funds to pay for their cards. But they can do it if they budget themselves a little bit, they frugal themselves a little bit, and they get a little extra money and put towards that. Now, the reason for that is because if you could do that, it's easier to pay smaller amounts than trying to pay a $5,000. If you try to go pay $5,000 and you can only put $50 on that, that is going to take you 3+ years to pay that off. And you're going to be frustrated and mentally exhausted that you didn't even get one card paid off. Now, if you have a small amount like Tim did, $190, you can either pay that off for 1, 2, or 3 months easily, because most people can take out $30, $40, or $50. Okay, so let's say you had $190. At worst case scenario, if you're putting only $50 towards it, you got it paid off in 4 months. Now you feel accomplishment, like, damn, I got one of these cards paid off, like Tim is right now, and Tim's credit went up 30 points. What that does, that gives you the momentum, like, shit, I'm gonna do the next one. I'm gonna do this one faster, because now instead of me putting $50, I'm gonna put $60 or $70 or $80. That is the momentum, not only financially, but mentally. You need that strength to get you that level you want to be at. That is not the cheapest route. The cheapest route would be the middle one, is where you pay the highest interest first. Or the last one, if you can consolidate into a balance transfer. But those 2, again, it's going to be based on what you can do on financially, okay? If you're going for the highest amount, you need to have more than $50 going towards a month. You should have like a couple $100, 2 to 4 or more, depending on what your balance is, going towards it, where it really makes a dent and you can pay that card off less than a year. Because after 6 months, you will get mentally frustrated if you're not making a big impact on that. That's why I say it's 3 different routes that you can take. It's not in those orders. It's in those orders because we're going from the difficult situation to more easier situations. So the next two ones are even more easier, if that makes sense. Where can I go to get your credit score without getting a hit? Okay. What is that website? Credit Karma, I believe is. I'll look up the link. I'll let you know. There's one yearly credit report that is for all three credit bureaus that is offered to everybody for free. That has a full detail annually, and you can Google it. But I believe uh, it's free credit karma or something like that. I'll look it up. I'll put that in just a minute or so, or I'll do it at the end of the show so you can have the link for it. But once a year, you are allowed to do that. Now, if you got credit cards, most credit cards offer you a glimpse at your credit score um, for free, but they typically are only dealing with one of those three bureaus. And if you got multiple cards, you can usually have different ones to kind of give you an idea what that is. But one annual free credit report.com, I believe, is the site that gives you one annually without dinging you for anything. All right, Tim said, "What's up to Rick?" Replying to Tim, look, I'll say Ryan. Then we got it options. Beautiful, Marion. Sorry, I just caught this. What's up, Liz? How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Debt free is the way to be, for sure. 110%. No other way of doing it. Debt free and taking advantage of the credit card benefits and reaping those awards. Hey Avery, what's up, brother? How you doing today? Stop trying to keep up with the broke Joneses. Look at that, man. Filtered water from a house glass. That's it. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go back to what our three strategy we covered so far. Um, we're pretty far into the show already. So for the people that's showing up, we're gonna go with advice first. Is look at your paycheck, review your monthly expenses, create a plan for what's left over, put your extra money to good use, but don't forget to give yourself some wiggle room in case some unknown things or something comes up that you don't overstretch yourself. Always leave you some wiggle room, some extra funds for yourself for any mishaps, emergencies, whatever. Then we are talking about debt payoff. We're talking about three options so far. First option for people that don't have a lot of funds and don't have good credit, but they need to get that credit paid off and get some hold of themselves is aim for the smallest amount debt first, pay that off, and then move on to the next one, so on, so on, so on. That way it gives you a quicker way of paying it off and it also mentally give you the momentum you need to get to where you need to be at the end of the day. Second is if you're able to put good amount of money towards it, hit for the highest interest rate debt first. That way you're paying the least amount of debt, least amount of interest, and you pay those off. Again, the goal with this is try to pay it off as soon as possible. Typically, you want to do a 12-month or 24-month plan and see if you can get there. If not, take it through 36 months. 36 months is a long term, but it is what it is. Wherever you need to, but you got to keep in mind that you're able to stick to this for the long term. That's why the first option is usually a best option for a lot of people because it gives you the momentum. Every time you pay off something, it's an achievement you did. All right, so we got a comment up here. Let's stay on top of that. All right, we got Marion saying hi, Liz and Avery. We got live below your means, definitely for sure. Miriam High, and then we got Snowball Effect. Yes, exactly. All right, now we're going over to, again, first option, smallest amount. Second option, highest interest. Third option, if you can't, do a consolidate balance transfer. Keep an eye out what the offer is. Keep an eye out for what the balance transfer would be. And keep an eye out for what, if you miss a payment, what is your consequences for that balance transfer. Again, sometimes that can be really high consequences because they can backtrack your interest from when you did the transfer if you miss a payment. This is, again, the banks being shady, trying to make their money, and they have everything in writing. It's just nobody reads all this stuff. And fourth option, consolidate by a personal loan with a lower interest rate. Okay, again, now this option, because the reason it's fourth is you have to be credit worthy to be able to get this. Um, so don't go and try at multiple places. The best place for this is either a credit union or the bank that you bank with. Go in, talk to a loan officer or bank teller or whatever, and ask them if they have personal loans to consolidate debt and pay off, your debt. And most banks offer some kind of option for this, but you do have to have a certain credit score and you do have to qualify for it. They do not automatically give this to everybody. So this is another option that you can do if you don't have the credit card balance transfer feature or option or promo. But again, you do have to qualify for this. This is why this is option 4. All right. The last option of the day is consolidated by home equity loans. For this one, you have to have a home. You have to have equity. And yes, you can put that on there and you can get a second mortgage on it. Second mortgage is one payment, but then you do put your house on liability when you do this. If you default, then you are, putting your house on jeopardy to be foreclosed on it. This is why this is the last option on there. But if you think you can do it and you have equity in your houses, which most houses these days, if you have your house for more than 3 years, you got good equity. Even with the housing market going down a little bit, housing market is going back up because interest rate just dropped a little bit, and that's pushing the housing market back up a little bit to be more steady and not keep on declining in most markets. Now, every market is slightly different than others. Some markets it does not affect as much, and some market it affects a lot. So depending on where you at, this is your last option. I do not suggest this option, but I put this out there just so people know that it is an option for you to do if you want to. Just because you shouldn't put your house, up for grabs. That's literally what you're doing is you're taking a chance on your house. And Liz just commented the same thing here is that you can lose your house. Be careful. Exactly. You do not want to put your house on there. I put it out there just because I have to put it out there just so everybody has all the options out there. Again, I do not suggest this one here. Sorry, that's this is comment, but this option here, I do not suggest this option. I do not recommend this option, but if you think you can pull it off comfortably, easily, and it's easy for you, then take the advantage of it. Because with this equity loan, again, you're probably right now, if you look at what the current loans are, they're around 6 to 7% what's in the market. If you got credit cards with 20+% interest rates, it is still cheaper to go this route. Now, a lot of time you're gonna have origination fee, doc fee, whole bunch of other stuff. Just take a look at what that is. Make sure that it outweighs your balance. That's the same thing with the personal loans. Now, if you get a personal loan, there usually is some kind of, uh, you know, they call different things, loan fee, uh, paperwork fee, dog fee, whole bunch of stuff. A lot of time they will throw some of those stuff out there. So be careful with that. Now, the last thing I do not recommend is using any of these damn consultant companies, because these consultant companies have hefty charges in there. This is how they make their living, guys. They're not going to make their living for free. If they're making their living, they are going to charge you, and it's going to be in your cards. If you do this stuff yourself, you will save yourself money and you will actually pay off debt, and you will not be paying any extra for it, uh, any extra more than you have to. Again, credit score, your goal for that, my opinion, is 800 plus. Minimum, you want to be at 760. If you're under 700, you're not in a good credit stand. We discussed this before. I don't have the chart up today, but again, uh, the chart went somewhere where it was really low if you're under 700. So, any questions on that? If you feel like something is effective, please share that with other people so they can reap the benefit off of that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I will help you out any way I can. Sometime during the day, if I'm working, I may not be able to get to your messages right away, but I will guarantee you I will get to your messages um, within a day, if not within hours. Also, help me out. Let's build a YouTube channel for this show as well. I've got a YouTube channel called Increditable Cash on YouTube. There's the link for that. If you guys can go there and subscribe, so that way we can build up a community there and give people to watch off YouTube that cannot watch through Facebook or whatever the reason. And then on top of that, they're easier for them to watch the previous shows, and we'll build probably more clips and content that will help out on different options on the financial side, whether it's credit card or business and other stuff. Um, Again, guys, let me know how the show is doing, how I can improve it, what questions I can answer, if there's any certain specialist that you would like to have on the show that we can question, like we did with the real estate, we did with the tax guy. I plan on having in the near future some life insurance personnel on here. Hopefully, we can get them to answer some questions. The problem with that is that they have to have okay from their insurance board or whatever to make sure they're able to answer, questions. Um, their license sometimes can be questioned on that stuff. So I'm trying to get that. That is my next step for everybody here, is to have some kind of life insurance, because you need to have some kind of backup plan for your family, for your loved ones, in case something happens, that they're not on the street. If you got a house, they don't lose a house. If you're renting, that they're not out because you didn't pay the rent or the mortgage. So having some kind of life insurance is very key. And then there's also benefits in a lot of these life insurances that we will talk about in the near future, on how you can actually benefit from some of those stuff, and not only for the debt benefits, but also how you can do tax benefits, and how you can actually use some of the money that you put into those and benefit off of that as well. So for that, I appreciate everybody coming on. Can you get an attorney to talk about wills? Yes, that is actually wills and trust is on the line. I am working on somebody with that as well. That is just the problem with that, Liz, is that different states have different laws. So a lot of time what happens is that they may be able to answer the question for Georgia, but they cannot answer for Florida, they cannot answer for Texas, or they cannot answer for California like you're at. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can do a general uh, content for that information. That way, we have some general questions that would apply more on the federal level than more on the state level. Because the state level is where it kind of gets a little bit more tricky, but license for the attorneys are given by the state per state. So if you got an attorney that is practicing in more than one state, they have to have a license for each one of those states. Now, the insurance agents, they also have to have licenses for those states as well, but their primary licenses for their state, and a lot of that stuff is similar in other states with only small minor adjustments, which a lot of time they're just paying some fees and a quick uh, review on some of the stuff. But with that attorney, it gets a little bit more tricky because there's more laws and rules and regulations that are involved with that. I have been working on that since December, actually, believe it or not. It's just really difficult to get somebody to kind of answer majority of the questions. But in the near future, we will have somebody because on wills and trust is very key and important thing to have. Somebody else talked about trust before. Rick Tallman actually talked about trusts before as well, back in February, I believe it was. But like I told him, I have somebody in the works. We're just trying to get a lot of the stuff ironed out so that way when they come on the show, they can actually answer some questions and it's not a waste of their time or ours. Mostly it's theirs because they're doing this for free, man. There is no, I don't pay any of my guests or anything on that. Actually, this show is all done by me on my own. I'm paying for everything out of my pocket. I guess my company's gonna be start sponsoring it because I gotta have some kind of tax write off. So I gotta start advertising Top Tent Service and Top Tire Service for letting me use their platform to do this for everybody. You're welcome, Liz. I appreciate you joining on here. Thank you, everybody that joined on. You guys have a blessed night. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to check out Tenor Tuesday tomorrow with Jason. He's got a special guest going on. I know Jordan got something going on their show on Wednesday. Actually, Miriam 2M.20 is gonna be on Jordan's show. Marion's I'm pretty sure is still on here. She will be on Wednesday on the what is it? The Dark Truth. So don't miss her there. And then on Thursday night, I will be hosting the WFR giveaway, and we got a lot of good giveaways, guys, that you do not want to miss out. So if you are on the WFR, come join. If you're not on the WFR group, join on there. If you join WFR as a new person, they have 3 questions. You have to answer those 3 questions to get on. Otherwise, they will not allow you in that group. And that is a Tenters exclusive group only. Okay, that is all Tenters or rap or PPF guys only. Only in the film industry people. So get on that. Again, thank you so much. I will catch you guys later. Marion, I will catch you on Wednesday's show. And guys, check out WFR on Thursday and catch Jason on his Tinder Tuesday tomorrow. And with that,